Hello and welcome to Steph Time. My name is Stephanie, and though you may know me most for sewing, I also dabble in a bit of knitting myself. I know that it was really useful for me to have a really good solid beginner knitting pattern to get into knitting. So I wanted to compile a list of a bunch of different beginner knitting patterns for you guys, some of which I have tried and some of which I have not. In each little category, I'm going to go kind of from easiest to a little bit more advanced in that category. I will put all of the links and socials and size ranges in the description down below, so make sure to check that out if you have any questions. Make sure to support these designers. They're awesome. Hope that you enjoy, and let's get into it. All right, I will categorize everything down below, so if you're interested in a particular type of garment, just scrub through there and find what you want to watch. But I'm going to start with like warm accessories, starting with beanies. Chunky rib knit beanie. This one is by Linda Whaley, and it is just a simple, bulky rib knit knitting pattern. You can't go wrong with this. I love this hat. It's very cute, and I think there's just a lot of possibilities. It comes in a bunch of different sizes, so you can make it for a little one or an adult human. Next up, we have the classic ribbed hat by Pearl Soho. I did a poll on my Instagram stories a while ago asking for like an easy rib knit hat pattern, and so many people suggested this classic ribbed hat by Pearl Soho. This is a really good go-to if you have some thinner yarn you're wanting to work with and knit up a hat really quick. Those are our beanies. Moving on. All right, if we are going for a sort of head wrap, Two of Wands has a free pattern on her website that's a thermal twisted head wrap. This is obviously just a good option of keeping them ears warm in the middle of winter and would be a great gift for any of your loved ones. Let's talk mittens. I've got their claim, The World's Simplest Mittens by Tin Can Knits, and it looks like you can use any size yarn, and it includes 5 different sizes from toddler to adult large. Had to include a little bit of hand warming, and this pattern is just stockinette with rib knit at the wrist, so it looks like it'll be super easy to knit up and very useful to have, and another great gifticle. All right, I've got 3 different neck warmer accessories for you. Lots of my sewing friends have been getting into knitting as well, and over on Instagram I've seen lots of people make this bandana, also by Dima Knitwear, and it just is a really cute knit bandana, and you could wear it in the summer like with a little tie at the neck. You can wear it like over your head, little scarfy actions. Since it's just stockinette, it would be pretty simple to begin with. And I also wanted to include just a good old scarf. This one's the Bright Side Scarf by Wool and the Gang. It is a free pattern. This is just a really nice scarf pattern if you are overwhelmed by too many words, too many patterns. This one's pretty straightforward, repetitive, so you don't have to be constantly referencing a pattern. If you just want to get into the swing of things, this is a really good place to start. Dima's turtleneck collar, and this one's by Dima Knitwear. I like this one because it's knitting a turtleneck without having to knit the rest of it. And it also is really good for layering, and it's very cute, and it'll just kind of give you a sense of like what it may be like to knit a whole sweater. And it's just really cute. Now let's talk about summer knitwear. It is not currently summer where I'm at. However, I wanted to include this because I actually have knit a couple of summer knitwear items, so I wanted to talk about that here. First of all being the Swift Tank by Cool Stitches. So I have a picture of me right here. I knit this one. I knit this up with some wool and acrylic. Turned out super cute, so I would definitely recommend this. Next is the Crop It Like It's Hot top by Brenda Lamb. I have done some test knitting for Brenda. She has such fun designs, and she has just like an amazing fun personality. And this I actually did knit up. I just love the texture. I love the neckline. It was super flattering on me. I like the finished product a lot. It just was a little bit too itchy for me in the summer. Just go for a yarn that is going to be friendly to your skin. All right, next we have the Fluffy Crop Top by Leah Likey, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing everyone's names right in this. This is a light and airy tank top knit up in brioche. I have not tried brioche knitting, though the bread is very nice. But this just looks super cozy, looks like a great staple to have in the summer or springtime for layering. I just think it looks really like romantic. It may be a little bit more of a challenging knit for those of you who have already been knitting. And I also have a tie back tank top. It is the Back and Forth top by Kara Ing. And this is just a simple kind of halter top that ties at the back. It's just really cute. It seems like it'd be a really good option for the beach or whatever. All right, moving into vest territory. We have the Vicky's Vest by Vicky Knits. Vicky Knits also has some beautiful designs. This is a super beginner friendly pattern using chunky wool. This one is well tried, well reviewed, so there's plenty of examples to look at on the internet. I think it's just a really cute and classic knitting pattern. Up next is a classic V-neck vest. It's a little bit more slouchy. It's by Well Loved Knits, and she includes a patchwork version or just a solid version. But if you wanted to learn the art of intarsia, which is just knitting with different colors at the same time, she has an amazing video on how to do that on her Instagram, and she has a YouTube channel as well. But I just thought this would also be a good introduction into a really cool technique. And next we have a free vest pattern by Vicky Knits. She designed this for Love Crafts, and it is the Boo vest, which obviously is a little bit of Halloween themed, but you can change the colors. You don't have to add the Boo on there, and otherwise I think it's a rather classic and cool vest pattern with a mock neck, turtleneck situations. Wanted to give you guys some like different neck options as well. All right, moving on to jumpers. Starting out with another awesome pattern by Well Loved Knits. This is the Cozy Mock Neck Sweater. It was the first knitting thing I had ever completed. And this is me in my Cozy Mock Neck Sweater. And this was just so easy. It was repetitive, very simple, and the instructions were clear and concise and easy. It helped me learn a lot of the basics of knitting, so definitely recommend this. And I had to include it because it was my first little knitting project. Up next we have the Too Faced Pullover by Shayna K. It seems super simple to work up, but it has an added intarsia element in dual color. So if you wanted to try something just like with a little twist, you can check this one out. Shayna K also designed this pattern for this sweater. This is the patchwork pullover. Though I changed the instructions and design a bit, it was totally inspired by her amazing design. All right, if you're wanting to experiment with stitch type a little bit in a beginner friendly knitting pattern, I have this perfect crop sweater, and this one's by A Honey Knits. And I love the sleeve design at the bottom. It just adds kind of a visual texture, visual element that some of the others don't offer. So I wanted to include this on here because it's honestly really cute, and I think a crop sweater just super in, especially with like a billowy sleeve. And using these chunky knits, it's just gonna knit up super quickly. Up next we have the I'm Obsessed jumper by Brenda Lamb. And this one is a really classic silhouette. This is actually on my knit list, if you will. And I just wanted to include another option for you guys. I just wanted to give you guys like a lot of options so you can like choose based on style as well. Moving on to a little bit more of an advanced beginner knit friendly. And this is the Jess sweater, and this is by Ash and Her Knits. She makes a lot of awesome beginner friendly sweaters as well, and just knitting patterns in general. But this one has some really fun texture, and if you wanted to dive even more into like following a pattern, following and learning different stitch types, this would be a great option for you as well for a chunky knit sweater. Moving to cardigans. This is the Need to Have cardigan by Brenda Lamb, and it is a very simple chunky knit, billowy sleeve, drop shoulder cardigan. This is designed to be oversized and slouchy, so it's super cozy. Another awesome cardigan pattern by Brenda Lamb is the Marshmallow Cardi, and it is oversized, pillowy, marshmallowy, if you will. It is knit up, super chunky, super full. So if you want to feel like you're wearing a blanket as a cardigan, this is definitely the go-to. I also included a kind of more low-key cardigan, and it is the Campsite Waffle Cardigan pattern by Two of Wands. This one is a little bit more of an advanced beginner, but it's, you know, a little bit longer, a little bit more of a classic silhouette with pockets. but I thought that it was an interesting one to include here in case you were wanting to try something a little bit more challenging. All right, another kind of more trendy cardigan pattern is the Lights Up cardigan pattern by Wool and the Gang. They released a whole series of free patterns based on Harry Styles, which I loved, and it's free. They also have a sweater version, they have a scarf version, so check out those if you like this kind of patchwork look. And if you have no interest in following anyone else's pattern to make something, Cool Stitches actually came out with this guide, complete toolkit for you to build your own cardigan pattern based on your measurements. And it sounds much harder than it actually is. She has a video accompanying how to do the whole process. So definitely check that out. And this is just a tool to help you create your own knitting pattern. It is not a knitting pattern. It is a guide to help you build your own, which I think is really cool because if you're interested in more of designing your own things, this is a great start because it teaches you the tools needed to do that. Pretty much all of Cool Stitch's patterns are pay what you want scale. Make sure to support her if you can. All right, I wanted to include a blanket pattern because if you don't have any interest in knitting for yourself, clothing wise, I wanted to include this free pattern by Wool and the Gang. This is the Come Together blanket pattern. This is a patchwork blanket pattern, and it's a great opportunity if you have any leftover scrap yarn or whatever. You can choose whatever colors you want. This is just knit up in garter stitch, which is super easy. You just knit, turn over, and it's a super simple pattern. Wanted to include that there as our last beginner knitting pattern. But wait, there's more. I wanted to include one extra thing since this is mostly a sewing channel. I wanted to include for you guys this, which is the Craft Case sewing pattern, also by Cool Stitches. This is designed to hold all of your knitting and crafting tools. So if you end up getting some circular needles, some straight needles, some double-sided needles, a set, this is a great tool for you to organize all your things so you can take knitting on the go. So it can hold your little stitch markers, your little needles, etc. So I wanted to include this because I thought it was really fun and I'm really looking forward to making my own. With that, those are all of the beginner and easy knitting patterns that I would recommend to you guys to start out with. If you plan on making any of these, make sure to comment below and let me know which ones you plan on making. If you're already a knitter, I think this is a great guide. And if nothing else, please check out these amazing creators and designers and their socials because they make some incredible art. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something, and let me know down below if you plan on making any of these patterns I have listed out here. So I will see you guys in the next one, and bye.